you like that email I sent you?
Turn these in or just leave them out?
Leave it there. Leave it there so maybe someone else can sign it if they want to.
Ryan, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time.
Been a little while, yeah.
How's it going?
Things are good.
Yeah.
Just trying to wrap up these projects. I mean, we were standing on the fifth tee that we've just rebuilt, and the town's doing paving prep on Grassy Gap. And we've got a crew that's coming to help us with Four Fairway that they're having to walk equipment around the paving guys. And we're cutting the road into Clubhouse. And
A lot of progress.
like 5 different contractors, some working for you, some working for me, and they're all just in the same places.
A lot of progress.
So it is a lot of progress. That's what I keep saying. You know, we need what's going on. There.
And we've got such a short window
All
to
of
get anything
Yeah.
done. Oh yeah, no, you too.
Yeah. All the same way. That's definitely how that ends up. It's all good. How about for you?
Good. We're struggling with FEMA.
Yeah, I knew that.
We got all the easy stuff done. Roads, culverts, now the hard stuff. They're changing leadership. They're changing this. Changing that.
I'm here.
This gentleman, Michael Pope, he's going to need to ride the bend road and about 4:15. What? When did Take care. How's Sarah?
She's good. Good? She's
Warren, how are you? Good to see you.
Did you see the thing in the
Watauga, or whatever, about us getting $250,000
Yeah,
share.
I'm gonna report on that tonight.
I saw it on Facebook. I didn't know if I should believe it.
It's true. It's true. Mayor, the mics are on.
That was my thought process.
Your mics are on?
Yep.
We're recording.
Let me turn my phone off. Try to.
Force isn't, but he's doing.
Emily, thank you.
All right, we're going to start our meeting. Welcome to Beach Mountains Town Council meeting, April the 14th. I guess most importantly, it's Connie's birthday today. Connie, you here?
That's why you're here, right? Yeah. That's fantastic. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Mayor.
Does that take care of you, Bob?
That does, thank you.
Connie and Chief Pudney are going out for dinner tonight, so we're going to move this meeting along. Okay, I need a motion to call our meeting to order.
Motion. Second.
All right, the adoption of the agenda, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, Alan, invocation?
Yeah, it's springtime, everyone, and I know Public Works is probably disappointed they won't be able to plow roads and put salt down until next winter, but,
I hope it's done.
yeah. The Bible verse for today is from Psalm 147:8, and He covers the sky with clouds, He supplies the earth with rain, and makes grass grow on the mountain. Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful time of year where we see your mighty hand at work, a time when the temperatures are warming up, the birds are singing, and the trees put forth their leaves. How blessed we are to live in a place where we get to enjoy the splendor of your creation. We pray that you will continue to be with all our residents, especially those who are having health challenges, our mayor, vice mayor, this town council, our town manager, and all the town employees. May God bless Beach Mountain, and God bless the USA. Amen.
Amen. And we also have a special guest today, Clay Olson. And Clay came to critique Art's council meeting. And
Pledge of allegiance.
and he said he hopes that he builds a house better than he runs the town. Pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Public comment. This is a time for the public to address their elected officials on issues not on the agenda. The town council is interested in hearing your concerns. However, speakers should not expect council to act or any deliberation. So, Michael?
Other Michael.
Oh,
Michael Warman. In the next planning meeting, I would like the mayor and the council to consider sidewalks. From where the town begins, going down the mountain, to the staff housing for the resort. In that, nothing to me shows a town as town has sidewalks. And communities, don't have sidewalks. And now I know that since 184 is an established road, the town would have to pay 100%. Unless, and I know the mayor can do it, unless we get a grant. And to cover, it'll usually cover 80%. So that's my proposal, and I mean, I know there's a lot of things on the agenda. I'm not saying do it this year, just consider it. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to add that to your list, Michael? We have another Michael here. Yes, sir. Thank you. So we're going to follow this up with the introduction of Michael Poe. Michael Poe is with the DOT. He's with Division. He's the engineer for Division 11 that is in our area. I met Michael 3 years ago, and there was basically zero dialogue between Beech Mountain and DOT. You know, we were lucky to get the roads scraped. We were lucky to get the roads or salt put down. So Michael made the mistake at this meeting that Chief Putney and I were in with some other elected officials, and he stood up and said, "Widener, what can we do for Beech Mountain?" So he opened up the door, and I wasn't going to shut it. Since we established our partnership, I think those that are up here on a regular basis will recognize that we used to have one plow truck. Now we have 3 that are allocated to Beech Mountain. We have plenty of salt. And part of our partnership, when they run low on salt, Beech Mountain has been able to provide salt to them. So it's been a nice partnership, and you know, it just took a little legwork and communication and networking. And I invited Michael to come up to speak briefly on the challenges that he's facing, and you know, what's worked and what hasn't worked. So, Michael Poe.
Well, thanks for having me up here today, and just to kind of give you a little bit of background on our division. Division 11, which is what I manage, we are the 8 northwest counties in North Carolina. We've got about just a few miles shy of 6,000 road miles that we maintain just in our division, along with 1,270 bridges that we're responsible for, 256 traffic signals. We've got 3 rest areas. And we've got, when we're fully staffed, about 515 positions. We've been dealing with a pretty big vacancy rate in the last few years. So we've only got about 400 positions filled at this point in time. And one unique thing about our division, we still have about 740 unpaved road miles that we have as well throughout the counties. When we kind of just look at the town of Beech Mountain here, I think if I did my math right, you have to check me, but we've got just shy of about 1.5 miles of road in Beech Mountain. So not a whole lot of interaction, but it's an important 1.5 miles, especially in the wintertime. Of course, that's Beech Mountain Parkway and C-184. Our maintenance terminates at just past the entrance to the Beech Mountain Resort, and don't have a traffic volume. We don't have a counter that we usually take up here. I need to check on that, but down near the bottom of the hill before you get back down to into Banner Elk, it's about 3,700 vehicles a day is the average daily traffic count. You alluded to it, Mayor. You know, snow and ice is probably our biggest issue that we face up here. You know, we get more snow in this county, and you have to forgive me. I know we're kind of right here on the line. Most of Beech Mountain's in Watauga. For DOT purposes, our Avery County folks really take care of the town here for the most part. But, you know, we only have 16 people working in that county. And we do, though, when we go to snow and ice, we've got about 30 contract trucks available. We don't use them all the time, but depending on the storm severity, we've got that many at our disposal. And our crews operate on 12-hour shifts when we have winter events. You alluded to it, we've got anywhere from 3 to 4 trucks that we dedicate out here to Beech Mountain Parkway. Same thing on the 184 section out going between Banner Elk and Tynecastle. We've got 3 trucks dedicated there. And we also have a truck that runs Hickman Neck Gap Road that we can pull if we need to provide more assistance up here. Typically, how we operate when it comes to snow and ice removal, we've got a bare pavement system. So when you talk about this, again, Avery County, we've got about 335 road miles, centerline miles in the county. It's actually pretty high for a county, but about 230 of those are what we consider bare pavement. So that's when we go out, we focus on those first, and we try to get those clears before we move on to our other secondary routes. So that includes all primary routes and key secondary routes, including Spanish Oak, Squirrel Creek, Old Beach Mountain, Buckeye Road, Hickory Nut Gap, and Montezuma. From salt storage, we've got 3 places that we keep salt in Avery County. Our maintenance yard can handle 2,320 tons. And we've got satellite salt storages areas down on 3 Mile on the other end of the county and one down here in Heaton. And both of those have a capacity of 500 tons. So we're just under 3,500 tons of salt capacity. And that was an issue this year. We had all these back-to-back, it seemed like never-ending storms and across the state.
Only on Fridays.
Yeah, always on Fridays. But, especially the first one, it was really an event that, we hadn't seen anything quite like that, where we had it and it just got really, really, brutally cold across the entire state. And it was a tremendous amount of salt that got used in that storm and all across the East Coast. And so the whole supply and demand issue and supply chain became a little bit of I wouldn't say a big concern, but we had to be mindful of it. And so we really tried to sort of reel our folks in, make sure they're using it when it's most appropriate. To be frank, when it gets really, really cold, it doesn't work as well. And so we do kind of transition to plowing. And if we can get it off the road plowing, that's what we'd rather do, because salt is very expensive. We used 9,200 tons in Avery County alone this year. And we spent just under $5.5 million in Avery County this year on snow and ice removal. So it was a very significant expenditure. To kind of put it in perspective, we spent $25 million across the whole division this year compared to $17 million last year. So, our winter season, I don't have to tell you, started early November and go through mid to the end of March. We did start experimenting with some things that is a little bit more effective when it gets cold weather. We've kind of gotten away from this. It's fairly corrosive. We don't like to get it in our equipment too much, but we started using a brine and calcium chloride mix, and it's very effective when temperatures get down. And I know we had some issues up here one day, and as soon as we were able to get that on there, it quickly cleared up. So we're looking at expanding that capability moving into next year. As everybody knows, snow and ice can be very, very tricky. It's very temperature dependent, as I said. Depending on how the wind's blowing, you're fighting a losing battle sometimes. If it's a wet snow, dry snow, the second snow we had the second weekend, it came right off the road. And then we were back down to the ice from the first week. So, and of course, the time of day is always challenging, especially in areas like this, where you've got, I guess, the different, what they call them at the ski resorts, the different sessions, times that people are coming and going, and trying to coordinate that with our shift changes and things. It can be challenges, but we're trying to do a better job of that. As the mayor mentioned, one of the things we've been focusing on the last few years is really building our relationships up. And, it's not just about keeping the roads clear. There's a lot of other things, the local economies and, schools and, making sure emergency services can get where they need to when they need to, and trying to build those relationships and make sure that people, the boots on the ground, have the phone number of their counterparts and these other agencies is really important. And so really pleased this year with how that's gone, and looking forward to building on that in the future. So.
Do the eastern part of North Carolina, do they carry any salt?
They do.
They
They do have. It's fairly limited capacity. I know myself and my counterpart in the Asheville area, we were joking when we started getting across the state low on salt that I think both of us individually had more than about 5 or 6 divisions combined. So But they are helpful, you know, I can tell you in times past, years ago up here, we contacted folks in Fayetteville, and we trucked salt up here out of the dome in Fayetteville when we started running low, 15 years ago. So we've got a good team at the department, and everybody works together, and when we did get low, they did what they needed to do, or their purchasing unit, we got some barges in at the port, and we've been hauling convoys, getting replenished, and we're definitely at this point ready for next year. And one of the things we're looking at too is just establish some strategic reserves in the state. Our folks in Raleigh are investigating some central locations that we can kind of keep a little bit more on hand, and if the supply issue rears its head again, we'll be a little bit better prepared.
That pile right on the 105 extension, is that your state pile of salt? I mean, we turn on the 105 extension heading towards 421.
On the 105 extension.
Yeah, right there in the corner.
We've got our dome is over beside the sheriff's department.
So maybe that's not your material that sits there, maybe that's,
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And then we do keep some at our maintenance yard in Watauga as well.
I think those are millings.
that's all Millington?
Millings, yes.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
May needs
Yeah.
extra stock.
We are building another satellite location on 221 in Watauga and Ash, so that we can manage that 421 mountain and not have to go as far to replenish.
So is the one on 321 below where the rock slide is that
Yeah, that's
pretty
ours.
much used for 321 and,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, that section there is a pretty challenging section of the mountain. Just due to the grade, truck traffic can be a problem. One of the things we did this year was we did it there, and we tried it over at 421 Mountain coming up below the Parkway. Was have some towers on standby to keep, so if we did have a truck get stuck, it wasn't blocking up traffic, getting more people stuck, waiting on the highway patrol to get out there and call their next wrecker on rotation. We've utilized that on projects in the past for quick clearance. I'm not sure if we're going to continue to do it. It wasn't cheap, but it's something we're going to kind of keep in the toolbox, and depending on the storm, we may try to continue to implement that.
Between where the bridge is, when you're going into Boone and Helene and the rock slide there in Blowing Rock, you've had your hands full.
It's been busy.
It's been
There's
a
never a
busy
dull
year.
moment.
That's right. Well, maybe job security.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
do you guys have any questions for Michael?
I thank you for coming, this is great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for the information.
Got a hand up right
Okay.
here, not me. Hi, I have several questions. I know that Beach Mountain Parkway is part of your concern, correct?
Yes.
Okay, by the way, I'm Nina Jones, I'm a permanent resident up here. I've been on Beach Mountain since the 70s. And since the 70s, this has not been corrected. Okay, I have come and gone, and I'm here permanently since 2001. We have a storm water problem. From right here, going down into Skiway Circle, all the way here on the left, going down into Coffee Lake. And from there, processing further down into the reserve for water. Okay? I have been dealing with water issues even before Helena, Georgia. I spent close to $8,000 to rebank a creek that comes off of this. Okay, personal money that runs out because I live next to the ski slope, which is the beginner ski slope. I live above it. I live on Skiway Circle and Skiway Road, condominium number 5. I'm not a house. I'm a condominium of 4, basically 8 units. Okay? We've had a problem from the water coming from this way, storm water coming into the properties from Beach Mountain Parkway, okay, and washing us out. Washing our driveways out, washing our stormwater areas out, and flooding us. how can these houses going down on Beach Mountain Parkway have you involved with the city to improve the way that water works?
Eva, I got a question. When Michael agreed to come here today, I told him he would be out here at 4:15. He's got another commitment that he needs to get to. So that's, you heard her concern, and if we could get someone to follow up.
We've had people come
So,
up here
Michael.
and no results. As I said, I've been here since 1970. Okay?
Okay, but I've made a commitment that I'd get him out of here at 4:15. I'm not trying to be short, but I appreciate you coming up here and your time. Okay, so you've got, and his car broke down, so this is another issue. You've got transportation in your vehicle? Okay, very
He
good.
should be here.
What do we need to do?
I'll give her your telephone.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm getting recorded.
Okay.
I apologize. I mean, he's got a commitment that he needs to attend, and I told him he'd be out here at 4:15, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be short and that the concerns aren't valid. We're working on the water issue, and I don't know how much the state is gonna be able to do for us, but, this is part of the,
Storm mitigation.
storm mitigation that we're working on. So anyhow.
Mr. Mayor, I'll just note, the state's responsibility is runoff that's on Highway 184 Beach Mountain Parkway. As council's aware, stormwater is always an issue on the mountain because we live on the mountain. And it's gotta go
So
somewhere.
downhill.
And it goes downhill.
Yeah.
So it's always an issue.
No pun intended. All right, so thank you, but again, I wasn't trying to be rude, he had another meeting to attend. Okay, the consent agenda. I need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, consent agenda passed. Old business. Item 8.1, this is a public hearing on proposed rezoning. I need a motion to open this up for a public hearing.
Motion.
He's outside in thank you.
Second.
All right, does anyone care to speak on item 8.1? This is a public hearing on the proposed rezoning. Anyone care to speak? Going once, twice? All right, I need a motion to close.
Motion.
Second? Very good. Item,
When would that be voted on? That rezoning?
Well, this is a public hearing. We may get it on your May agenda. The first step was the public hearing, and we go from there.
Okay, thank you.
And this property was already purchased by the club?
They own it.
So they own that?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
okay, item 9.1, new business. This is a proclamation for Mr. Sam Potter. And this today will be Sam Potter Day. And the proclamation is Sam Potter Day, whereas Sam and Maxine Potter moved to Beach Mountain Memorial Day weekend in 1970 and became one of the founding families of the mountain. Whereas Sam Potter took the position of sales manager of Carolina Caribbean Corporation, the developer of Beach Mountain. In his position, he moved early sales of Beach Mountain lots to a higher level. Whereas Sam and Maxine Potter started the first family of Beach Mountain with the birth of their daughter, Sheena Potter. Whereas Sam Potter has monitored the progress of Beach Mountain community, visiting often, and continues to promote Beach Mountain. Now therefore, it be resolved by the mayor and town council in honor of Sam Potter's 90th birthday that April the 17th will be declared Sam Potter Day in the town of Beach Mountain. Thank you. Item 9-2, I'm sorry, yeah, 9-2. This is it's a solid waste public hearing. I need a motion to open it.
Motion.
Second.
Would anyone like to speak? Very good. I need a motion to close it.
Now I have some questions.
This is for the public.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Okay. And
Motion to close.
Motion to close. I need a second.
Second.
Very good. 9-2. Chief, item 9-3, this is the bid acceptance for the Charter Hills Road slide repair.
Mayor and council, the town did not receive the required 3 bids for either 9-1 or 9-4 on Friday, so we don't have a recommendation for you. Both of those have been sent out for rebid. We'll attempt again on April 23rd.
Was there any bids?
We have 1.
So I don't ever get the opportunity to correct Chief Putney, but he said item 9-1 and 9-4.
Did I?
And it's item 9-3 and 9-4, Chief.
9-3 and 9-4. I stand corrected.
I'll hear about it afterwards. So, okay, item 9-5, this is the annexation petition of property owned by Emerald Opportunities. I need a motion for item 9-5.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Chief, will you explain this, please?
Well, this is a resolution, Mayor and Council, to direct the town clerk to begin the annexation certification process. So this is a voluntary annexation for a piece of property that is currently in Avery County that abuts the town off of Oz Circle. So this resolution will then direct the town clerk to certify that all the requirements for an annexation are in place. This will come back before you for approval in the coming months.
This property, is it now subdivided as indicated on this
The
survey?
it's platted,
It is
yes,
platted?
yes. And there's a section of multiple lots that are outside the town.
Right.
And the
And the-
water and sewer is, where is that hanging on all of this?
There's water and sewer available, not to unannexed property.
Okay,
I'll be careful here.
okay.
Yeah.
And so what you're directing the town clerk to do is to begin that investigation to make sure that we can report back to you the impact, if any, or benefit, if any, to the town by annexing this property.
Okay. Your next step after certification by the clerk will be a public hearing if you choose to do so. And we'll also have a recommendation as to proposed zoning districts for the annexed property.
So the property is Avery, Watauga? or-
Avery.
It's currently in Avery County.
Okay.
So we'll be able to, correct me if I'm wrong, the town will be able to, we'll be able to receive taxes and some revenue from, by
Yes, sir. That would be
implementing the
correct.
annexation.
Yes, if you decide that you wish to annex the property, then it would be part of the town, subject to taxes, zoning, and also potentially available for services such as water and sewer.
Correct.
Police and fire, EMS,
Police, fire, EMS,
Yeah, I
garbage.
mean-
all the good stuff.
They'll get the services that Woodland Meadows doesn't get.
There you go.
And, I mean, and just, you know,
Yeah.
it's just an analogy, good analogy to use. Guys, have any questions?
So, public utilities, I mean, this type of annexation is clean, going through
Don't
Public
know,
Works or,
don't know yet.
Okay.
That's what this resolution does.
okay,
It begins the process of
Starts the
investigation.
process.
okay.
All right,
We need to vote on
yeah. All in favor?
it. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Item 9-6, I need a motion for the engineer selection for municipal fueling station.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Chief?
Mayor and council, this is a FEMA project. FEMA, federal money's involved, so the selection of the engineer follows the FEMA guidelines. This was put out to an RFQ, request for qualifications. One firm responded, we had to send it back out the single firm that responded the first time responded the second time. It's West Consultants. We've used them extensively in the past. This is for a relocation of the fueling station that was damaged by Hurricane Helene.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Very good. I'm gonna let Chief Putney go to dinner with his wife, and I'm gonna do the town manager and staff reports.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Chief, you're up.
All right, if you would turn to page 90, we'll go through the financial report. There is some things to note. On page 90, our general fund, we're at 67% benchmark of the budget year. And if you look at expenditures, we're at 69%, so about 2% over. The reason predominantly is what you passed on the consent agenda, the budget amendment. It was $1.2 million. We amended the budget for the first time this year. That almost exclusively was SALT expenditures that were unbudgeted and unrealized. It is a balanced budget. If you were to look at that amendment, we had a $1.2 million expenditure change to the budget. We also had a $1.2 million, there's some other dollars there, it's not exact, in revenue. But that's the reason this number is 2% out. So as we move into the next financial report, that should all come back into alignment. If you would briefly look at that same line, road maintenance down at the bottom is at 81%, and that reflects where those additional expenditures. On page 91 is our utility fund. Again, the benchmark is 67%. We're at 56% of expenditures. Really happy with how that department is operating, particularly with all the issues that we've had with substantial leaks. A lot of work that's going on in that department, where we're doing very well there. If you turn the page to 92, it's our sanitation fund. Again, the benchmark is 67%, and we're right at 67% of budgetary expenditures. On page 93 shows you your fund balance. If you just look up at the top all the way to the right, our fund balance as of February, the end of February, was $11,064,360. Again, I say this every month, that's a healthy fund balance. There's a reason, and it's really not money that I really want you to just spend. We're in the middle of a long FEMA drawn-out process that's not getting better. We don't know what we don't know for when we get to the end of this journey. And so there's a good possibility that the town's going to have to make up the difference of what our damages were, the work we've done, and what FEMA will reimburse. So although we have a very healthy fund balance, if you compare it to where we started the budget year, that's by design. And we'll talk Thursday about my recommendations on how we go forward with that fund balance and the budget for next year. So with that, that's a financial report. If there's any questions, I'll answer them. If not, I'll move on to my report. The FEMA update, FEMA's back to work. We're beginning to see movement. I was being polite. On some projects, we still don't have any additional obligations. That means they haven't obligated any additional dollars in about 65 days to the town. And as I reported last month, we've got what I consider to be the easy things done. We did the road gravel, we did the culverts, we did a lot of the easy things. The big ones, which we didn't get bids on Friday, was Charter Hills Slide, the Buckeye Creek Slide, Shane Park, our water situation. Those are the big ones. Those are the big dollar ones. Those are the more difficult ones, and those are predominantly stalled. So we're taking some efforts. The mayor and I have been putting together a plan to ring the bell, shake the tree, whatever you want to call it, and hopefully we'll have some good news moving forward. So I did tell you Charter Hills Road and Buckeye Road, they're delayed due to lack of bids. We'll go back out on the 23rd. Lake Coffee funding at $54 million has been submitted to multiple places. We're getting mixed messages from the federal government on if this project will be funded. We've contacted our representatives in Congress. Congresswoman Fox has been very helpful getting this moving, but we're getting, and she is getting mixed messages as well. The Buckeye Dam spillway and water intake, that's pending the Lake Coffee decision. As I reported before, we have to drain Buckeye Lake for an extended period of time to make repairs. We can't do that and operate the town. So we've got to build Coffee to be able to have a water supply while we drain Buckeye and make those repairs. Somehow that's, as the mayor said, falling on deaf ears on the people that make those decisions. Let's see here. The Pinnacle well, it's not fracked yet. Now they're telling me they'll be here Monday. They told me last week it was too cold, so I'm not sure when we're going to get that done. The Buckeye Creek box culvert is under FEMA scope and cost review. Really, that won't be possible until at least August to get out to bid, and it may be later than that. So that whole area, Shane Park, Buckeye Creek Road, is going to be delayed.
Bob, quick question.
Yep.
Since we're talking about box culverts, whatever happened with Greenbrier and Lake, the box culvert that was supposed to?
Well, that's progressing. As you recall, we got about $1 million grant from the Golden Leaf,
Right.
and FEMA is picking up the difference. That has not been approved. They're going back and forth arguing about the cost of the box culvert versus a bridge. But we've made substantial progress. That one will happen before Buckeye Creek Road.
Thank you.
The Cherry Gap site is 98% complete. It's almost done. We'll have the material, all of the material from Buckeye Lake is there. We took slide material from Charter Hills and placed it there. It's also, as you know, planned when we dredge Lake Coffee and Santos for the new reservoir, the fill will go there. So the road is built, and they're going through the punch list now. Chrissy Way Culvert is under contract. In today's meeting, they said they'll start in 2 weeks for that. It's important we get that culvert in because another contractor has to come in and patch and resurface that road. We don't want to do that and then dig it up for a culvert. So that we're trying to coordinate that. The town has or is in the process of applying to the USDA, the Federal BRIC, which is Building Resilient Communities Infrastructure, the ARC, which is the Appalachian Regional Commission for Lake Coffee funding. The reason I mention that is I get a lot of calls from your constituents that say, you know, I heard you can get money here, I heard you can get money there. We have asked and we have put in formal applications for all of these funding sources, and we'll go wherever we need to go. Putting in a grant it's not quick. It takes a lot of time and effort. There's a lot of data that goes in. You just don't write a letter and said, I'd like $50 million to go to Lake. But understand that we've got a lot of people in our team, both town employees and contractors, that are working this, and we're looking under every rock for every dollar to make this work. Let's see, Lake Coffee, we plan to drain it for geotech work the second week of June. I think I told you about that. We're going to wait for the fishing derby. We've talked to the club and the resort. We need to drain it, get a drill rig in there, drill where the dam is. We need to see what is under there, and then it'll be refilled. So when people see us drain it and see the crane in there, we're not building the dam. We don't have the money, but we will, that'll be in the middle to end of June. You may have seen in the paper that we received a Part F grant for Shane Park improvements at $353,250. That's a grant that Sean Royal put in for, and we're very happy that we got that grant, and that will be used to improve, bring Shane Park back together, what FEMA doesn't cover, and make some improvements down there.
Has FEMA approved any of it?
No,
Okay.
a lot of lip service. We're doing a number of road projects this month, so expect construction and detours. I was just talking to Brian Barnes. You know, he's got the club's got a lot of work going. We've got a lot of work going in that area, and it's going to continue. And there's a lot of work that's going road projects. But we're going to be at the Parkway and Lake Road, and then move down on Lake Road. We're working on stormwater and some of the stormwater issues that we've been dealing with. Clubhouse Road, Chestnut Road, we're going to do water main replacement and sewer work. So there's going to be a lot of dust and a lot of detours. We'll keep up to date as much as we can on the website, detour signs, local traffic only signs, move the Jiffy John a little bit so that people can't drive up there. It's going to be a busy summer as we put things back together. I've got a request from a resident to reduce the speed limit on St. Andrews between Grassy Gap and Briarcliff. It's under review. We're out there collecting data. That's that S-curve, if you will. And we'll bring that back to you when it's appropriate. Let's see, we talked about the budget, the current budget. Budget workshop is Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. So I gave you a draft budget. That's what, if you would review until when we meet Thursday, I'll go over it in more detail. It is exactly that, a draft. There's a lot of formatting issues and errors. The numbers are correct, but I may have the page numbers kind of messed up, but everything is in a logical order. The news I want to tell you is a balanced budget. I was not able to include everything you asked me to include from the budget workshop. I'll go through in detail a recommendation on how we can deal with some of those things. And we'll meet at 10 o'clock here on Thursday morning and knock that out. So then we'll have a 30-day period to gather input, make adjustments, and we'll have a public hearing May 11th. And that's a normal council meeting. I'm looking at
Your boss,
yeah,
The boss.
because I don't know. I can't remember.
the scheduler.
So that'll be, this will be the window of the draft, and after we meet on Thursday, we'll leave Thursday with a clear direction on where we want to go and what changes we're going to make. We'll have a first budget to the public on the 11th, and then June 9th is scheduled for approval of the budget.
This Thursday's meeting's open to the public, correct?
Yeah, and we'll put it online, it'll be broadcast.
May 12th,
Oh, it will be videoed, it will be on the,
Yes, we'll send it up.
May 12th,
It's the 12th, not the 11th.
not the 11th.
And Emily said yes.
It's all right.
I need to know on the May 12th meeting, the commercial plan, we've got that scheduled for presentation by the Hill Studio on the 12th. That's going to take some time, but it's ready to come to you. This is phase 2, and you're being asked to fund phase 3 in the budget, so I think it would be appropriate for you to see the presentation. Is the 12th acceptable to bring it to you? Let's see this. There's a statewide burn ban in effect, includes the town. There's no open burning. The police and fire departments are enforcing that, so I wanted to make that notice for the public. This is Dispatcher Appreciation Week. Telecommunicator is what they're called now. If you get a chance, stop by Dispatch and let them know how much you appreciate them. That's a very difficult job. I've worked with dispatchers all of my adult life, and that's a very difficult job. They're the unsung heroes of as Will Holt said, the first responder's first responder. And the Mile High Kite Festival is hosted by Avery Chamber here on May 23rd at 10 o'clock, and we'll be bringing more information forward to you on that. The last thing I've got is on the May 12th meeting, we typically do a financial model presentation. We'll take the information from the draft budget, update the model. That gets a little technical, and is this something you want to do as well? That'll make for a long
You
meeting.
got the Hill group.
It will make for a long meeting.
Yeah.
The model's available. Steve and I review it all the time, but that's when you put the TV here and
Yeah.
show it to you. Do you still want me to do that or not? And that would be May 12th.
But does it have to be May 12th, that presentation? Can we make a special meeting just for that?
Well, we could. You just wouldn't have the ability to look at that and make your budgetary decisions,
For that meeting?
because June 9th would be the next available meeting. I can do it June 9th.
No, but could we do it May 13th?
Well, you can't. We can have a special meeting, sure. I'm not sure what the value is to you. I show you the dashboard, we show you the projections, but the model is really used for a forecasting tool by Steve, where we can, if you raise the tax rate, lower the tax rate, if you make some adjustments in not the budget per se, but in the assumptions, we can show you what those decisions may do. If it's a value to you, I'll get it scheduled. but it will make the 12th a very long meeting. Well, you can let me know Thursday. How's that?
Yeah.
The fire ban, does that include outdoor charcoal grills?
Any flame producing, so if you can barbecue in a charcoal grill without a flame, then it's legal.
What about-
We see a flame, we're hosing it down.
What about, outside fireplaces like on the porch and all that?
No, no outdoor burning at all.
Well, I'm glad to have nice masters watching fire.
Mayor and council, last thing I've got is I want to wish my wife a happy birthday,
She's back. She's back.
and that's my report.
Very good. Alan?
As always, just a big thanks to the town public works and our town manager and his staff for getting us through a difficult winter. And spring is upon us now, and hopefully it'll stay that way. We won't go back to wintertime. And just to call out a big thank you to them and your staff. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'd like to recognize, I did not realize we're in dispatcher appreciation. And it's both a thankless and a good job. I mean, we do a lot in this town, but through our dispatcher as far as contacting people when the storms come up and make sure people that are shut in are taken care of. And it's a huge part of the operation of the town. And I personally like to thank our dispatchers, and they're always valuable. In wintertime, I call them in the morning, you know, what's Beach Mountain Parkway like? Can I get down to Banner Alpha? And they've got the information, and they're very courteous and pleasing to deal with. And so, yeah, I'm appreciative of our dispatchers.
Mr. Stanford?
I'll jump on thanking the telecommunicators as well, having formerly been a telecommunicator at one point in my life and having dealt with them like Bob my entire adult career. I want to point out one thing with FEMA I think that was interesting. If you've been following the news and you know there's been a turnover at DHS as to who's running it, where FEMA's reporting. The FEMA administrator was actually here in western North Carolina last week, I think it was, maybe the week before. And one of the things that he announced is under the prior administration, if it was a request for funding at $100,000 or more, the DHS administrator had to sign off on it, and he has freed that. He's like, I don't micromanage, they need to flow the money. So hopefully we'll see some benefit from that, getting some of our reimbursements done. You mentioned the 23rd, and I think another thing we have going on the 23rd is a road race to benefit the fire department. It'll be starting out at Parking Lot 4 at the resort, and I'm sure the route will get published at some point in time, but I wanted to bring that up as well, that's flowing some money into our volunteer fire department. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Of course, I'm grieving some winter. You know, winter's done.
It's so crazy.
So, yeah, I know. I'm the crazy person that grieves winter, so I'm done with that. No, right. Hello, summer, you know, whatever. Thanks to dispatch, if you get a chance, just stop by and say hello. You know, they're always open, just take a pizza by or whatever. And ready for summer, and that's about it.
Talking about, Stanford was talking about FEMA. The director of FEMA was, or head of FEMA was, somebody say FEMA. Yeah. He was in western North Carolina last Tuesday, and I don't know how I made the cut list, but I had a roundtable discussion with Senator Ted Budd, Congressman Chuck Edwards, U.S. Representative Tim Moore, and also our state auditor Dave Boley. And somehow or another, they had heard about our water issues. It's not when the dam breaks. It's not if the dam breaks. It's when. So they had heard about our story, and they asked me. I stood up in front of about 80 people and gave them our story about how critical this issue is on Beach Mountain. As Chief Putney said, we have devised a plan. Whether it's going to work or not, we don't know. But I think those folks heard us, and hopefully it'll get back to Washington, and you know, we can get this project moving forward. Fall Creek, several weeks ago, they passed, and correct me with my terminology, Chief, a higher fire rating that reduces the insurance fees to the residents of the Fall Creek area. This was a big milestone for them because they haven't been able to do this since I think it's 1972.
It was actually their first rating,
That's correct,
and they went from a 9 to a 5.
and that's a big deal.
It is.
So hats off to Fall Creek, and Fall Creek is, we have a good partnership with Fall Creek. They're always one of the first to respond when we need mutual aid. And I think our community and fire department looks after them and they reciprocate. So congratulations to Fall Creek. And thank you for everyone that attended the meeting today. It was nice having Michael Poe here today. As I mentioned earlier, that in the past there has been no relationship, no partnership, no networking. And by meeting him several years ago, he asked what he could do for Beech Mountain. We gave him a punch list, and he's made it happen, and we just continue to grow that relationship. Other than that, again, thanks for everyone that attended today, and you guys have a good week, what's left of it. Thank you. Meeting